When your dog stares at you while you eat, what's the first thing you think? That they're hungry, that they want a bite, that they just can't help themselves. Here's what most owners never realize. That stare is one of the most emotionally loaded things your dog can do, and the way you respond to it or ignore it is shaping your relationship with your dog in ways you probably don't see. Most people brush it off, tell them to go lie down, or toss them a scrap just to make it stop. All of that misses what's actually happening. Let's start with the real reason your dog can't take their eyes off you. 1. It was never really about the food. Yes, your dog likes food. That's not the point, because here's what's interesting. Researchers at Azabu University in Japan found that when dogs and their owners make prolonged eye contact, both experience a significant spike in oxytocin. That's the same bonding hormone released between mothers and their newborns, the same chemical that makes humans fall in love. Your dog isn't just eyeing your plate, they're locking eyes with the most important being in their world. Mealtime is when you sit still, when you're calm, when you're present. To your dog, that's an invitation, not for food, for connection. The stare is them saying, "You have my full attention, do I have yours?" And most owners staring at their phones or the TV never even notice they're being asked. 2. They're reading your emotions, not your plate. Have you ever had a rough day and noticed your dog staring at you differently at dinner? Softer somehow, closer. That's not coincidence. Dogs are one of the only non-human animals proven to read human facial expressions. A 2015 study published in Current Biology found that dogs can distinguish happy faces from angry ones, and they show a clear preference for approaching a happy expression. During mealtime, when the room is quiet and you're not moving around, your dog has the perfect opportunity to study you. They're scanning for stress signals, changes in your jaw tension, whether your eyes look heavy or light, the speed of your movements. Your dog isn't just waiting for scraps. They're doing emotional reconnaissance on the person they care most about. And hey, if this is changing how you see that stare, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep getting these videos to owners who actually want to understand their dogs on a deeper level. 3. That stare is a leftover from 15,000 years ago. Dogs weren't always our pets. They were wolves. And wolves, like most wild predators, understood one fundamental law. Food belongs to whoever is dominant in the pack. The alpha eats first. Everyone else waits and watches. When your dog sits across from you and stares while you eat, they're running ancient pack programming. Not to challenge you, to acknowledge you. That stare in its original form was a gesture of respect. A younger wolf watching the alpha eat was saying, "I know my place. I see you. I'm patient." Over thousands of years of living alongside humans, dogs evolved to redirect that same attentive gaze not toward a pack leader in the wild, but toward you. That stare isn't begging. At its core, it's deference. It's loyalty. It's your dog placing you at the center of their world and waiting, not demanding, just waiting to see what happens next. 4. What you do next changes everything. Here's where most owners accidentally undermine their dog without knowing it. When you toss your dog a piece of food just to make them stop staring to get some peace while you eat, you think you're being nice. But here's what your dog just learned. Staring intensely gets me what I want. You didn't calm the behavior. You rewarded it. And tomorrow that stare will be longer, more intense, maybe accompanied by a whine. But there's something worse than feeding them from the table. It's completely ignoring them. Because your dog isn't just passively sitting there. They are actively engaged with you. They're waiting for any signal. A glance, a word, a gesture. When you give them nothing, no eye contact, no acknowledgement, they don't think you're busy. They think you're shutting them out. Over time, dogs who are consistently ignored during the moments they seek connection start pulling back. They stop greeting you at the door with the same energy. They stop choosing to be in the same room. Most owners never connect those two things. 5. The right response rewires your entire bond. So what should you actually do? Here's what changes things. During your meal, before your dog has a chance to escalate into begging mode, acknowledge them calmly, not with food, with your voice and your eyes. Look at them for a few seconds. Say their name in a soft, warm tone. Then ask them to go to their spot, their bed, a mat, a corner they know is theirs, and reward them immediately for settling there. Not with your food, with their treat given with genuine warmth. What you're doing is replacing a habit loop that has no end stare. Escalate, get food, with one that has a clear, satisfying resolution. You saw them. You responded. You gave them something. In your dog's mind, that's not a consolation prize. That's leadership. That's communication. And dogs who feel genuinely heard and led are calmer, more confident, and more attached to their owners than dogs who are either bribed or ignored. The research on this is consistent. It's not about dominance, it's about clarity. Your dog wants to know what the rules are, and when you give them that, they relax in a way that food never quite achieves. 6. When the stare changes, pay attention. There's one more thing about that stare that most owners miss entirely. The quality of it matters. A soft, relaxed gaze with a loose body and slow blink. That's affection. That's the oxytocin loop working the way it's supposed to. A hard, unblinking stare with a stiff body and a tail that's barely moving. That's a different conversation. That's a dog under stress or a dog who has learned that escalating pressure gets results. And if your dog suddenly stops staring at you during meals, if they stop seeking you out at all, don't brush it off. Dogs who disengage like that are often telling you something is wrong. Pain anxiety, a shift in the household dynamic, something medical. A dog who withdraws from the person they once watched constantly isn't being independent. They're asking for help in the only way they know how. If that's happened with your dog, it's worth a visit to your vet and a real look at what might have changed in their environment. Because here's the truth about that stare that most owners never stop long enough to understand. Your dog doesn't look at you like that because they're trained to, or because they're manipulating you, or because they smelled your chicken. They look at you like that because in their entire world, you are the thing most worth watching. You're the center of their universe. Every meal, every evening, every quiet moment, they are choosing to put their eyes on you. That's not begging. That's love. And the least we can do is look back.